Same dish, different recipes. From the most classic and iconic recipes to the most controversial, we're gonna try it. Today, we're recreating 3 famous recipes of a dish that's very difficult to nail. It has to be tender and juicy on the inside, but crunchy on the outside. One of the best ways to impress or disappoint any guest or loved one, Lechon Kawali. Filipinos love pork and anything fried, and Lechon Kawali ticks all those boxes. By the end of this video, we will learn how the same ingredients can result in a very different dish and eating experience by changing the cooking technique. The Lechon Kawalis today will be judged based on the flavor, the juiciness of the meat, the quality of the crunch, and how long it keeps its crunch, since this is usually prepared for occasions. Without further ado, let's bring out the kawali! Our first recipe is from Panlasang Pinoy, and it's one of the most common ways in making Lechon Kawali.
His recipe is super straightforward and the simplest of all. Simply drop your pork belly in boiling water with whole black peppercorns, bay leaves for added flavor and aroma, and salt. This cooks for 30 minutes or until the pork is tender. Making sure it's evenly cooked, he flips the belly halfway. Afterwards, this cools down over a strainer to air dry.
It's safe to touch.
And when cool to touch, season with salt and let sit for a few more minutes. This does not only season the meat, but also draws out the extra moisture from the skin, which is supposed to make it crispier.
Ang ganun yan.
We're gonna deep fry this in hot oil, uncovered, or with a splatter screen. You can do this so the steam isn't trapped inside the pot or doesn't condense on the lid, which can cause more splatter later on. Deep fry the meat, making sure to turn a couple of times for even cooking.
You know, yes! Yes! Woo!
And when crispy, take it out of the oil, drain, and cool. We got a beautiful browning on the surface and a few blisters too. Let's slice it down, and it's definitely juicy and pink on the inside.
The second recipe from Chef Tatong of Simpol is not how you would typically prepare Lechon Kawali, but that's why I'm so excited to try it.
Chef Tatong starts by seasoning pork belly in a bowl with salt and vinegar for 30 minutes. This can really let the pork absorb that flavor and also kind of brine, which is a way to tenderize the meat and ensure a juicy result later on. Afterwards, here's the exciting part. We smother the raw pork belly with cold oil. And a few pieces of garlic, black pepper, and bay leaves. This cooks over medium flame, and what happens is the oil slowly reaches the temperature which kind of boils or cooks the pork and fries it at the same time. Garlic cooks faster than the pork, so we remove it after 25 minutes. We continue to fry the pork for 25 minutes more, turning it occasionally until we get a good browning. The skin turned out so nice and crispy. We got a few decent but bigger blisters. But the fat under the skin was more opaque than Panlasang Pinoy, which means we got less rendering of the fat. This recipe has more ingredients and more technique. But let's see if it turns out to be better.
Last but not the least, this recipe is from a chef who backs their recipes with theories. Their Lechon Kawali is oven dried before frying, and that's the secret for the crisp. Let's try it.
Chef RV starts by boiling the pork belly like Panlasang Pinoy.
Uy!
We'll skim off the surface for scum, which doesn't look very good when it sticks to your meat. Next, we'll also add in crushed garlic, skin on, and some onions, whole black peppercorns, vinegar, fish sauce, bay leaves, and salt. Make sure everything is submerged. Boil this for 45 minutes to really soften the thick, hard fat. Afterwards, Chef RV drains the meat and says drying it out will remove excess moisture, which is necessary to achieve a crispy lechon kawali. One of his 3 suggested ways is putting the pork inside a 250-degree oven for 1 to 2 hours. Now we can submerge this in hot oil for 10 to 18 minutes or until browned. I'll pull it out just before it gets burned, just to give it maximum opportunity to crisp up. And voila! We got a variety of blisters and crackling pork skin. Although there are some areas where it's soft to touch. Let's take a look at the inside, and oh my goodness, is it juicy! We'll plate it up and we're ready to have all 3 lechon kawales undergo the taste test.
What looks most appetizing to you?
Ito sa akin.
3.
3.
This one.
Bakit?
Mas mukhang luto.
Mukhang crunchy yung balat.
And juicy on the inside.
Uy, hard.
Ay! sorry. What's next daw eh?
Go!
Chris nga daw muna eh.
Tikman niyo yung balat kasi yun yung winner card nila.
Tabang?
Walang sa alat na.
Ikaw muna, go.
Wait lang. So una, like, from the exterior, parang may lasa siya. Pero pag kinagat mo na, wala nang lasa.
Yung balat niya sa labas, maalat. Tama lang yung alat. Pero yung loob parang wala nang lasa.
Pero may crunch.
May pagkakains naman.
Juicy siya, pero matabang. Crunchy naman yung balat, pero wala yung lasa ng alat at bawang na hinahanap ko sa lechon kawali.
Ang lambot na ito.
Mas may lasa.
Mas malasa din.
I think it's better than this one.
Sarap.
Why?
Mas may kagat siya. Parang this one subtle lang yung crunch niya.
Halat lang din yung nadedetect sa balat. Pero crunchy naman.
Tama yung texture niya. Madali siyang nguyain. Feeling ko pinakuluan to ng matagal.
Parang sarap niya.
Balat muna.
Ito na lang sa akin.
Mas may
Ay? Parang mas bet ko to.
crunch na
Pagdating
to.
sa ka-crunchy kami. Ito parang ang kunat. Mas juicy to. Ito, mas juicy.
I think it's more may depth yung flavor niya compared to both. Pero yung crunch ito.
Yeah. Pero mas juicy to. Compare dito.
So in reality,
Tapos, yung, di rin to masyadong maalat. Tama lang din. No? Ito ako. Ito kaya ako.
Mas malasa to.
Okay.
For me, number 2.
For me, number 2 also.
iba-iba siya eh. Pwede siya sa lahat. Kung ikaw yung lechon kawali eater na importante ang sauce, ito ka. Para ang hindi mag-overpower yung lasa ng isa't isa. Pero ito talaga gusto ko.
Tcharan! Napaka-lame. Hi guys! Ayun. So, ang napili niyong winner ay number 2. Ang number 2 is from Simpol! This is from Chef Tatong. So, all of these lechon kawalis are famous recipes na nagtatap on YouTube and on search. Number 1 is from Panlasang Pinoy. Number 2 is from Simpol or Chef Tatong. And the third one is from Chef RV. So yung difference nila, I super love your comments during the tasting. Kasi based on my impression when making them, when recreating them. Kasi Panlasang Pinoy was very straightforward. You just boil it and then yung salt is rubbed only on the exterior before frying. Although meron pa rin namang flavors dun sa water na pinag-boilan. And then, second one is from Simpol. Very unique yung procedure niya kasi hindi siya pinakuluan sa tubig. Pinakuluan siya sa mantika. And parang inisip niya, parang, di ba frying yon? Pero the procedure is, hilaw na baboy, add yung malamig na mantika, and then slowly mo pakuluin. Oo. So parang napapakuluan siya and napiprito at the same time. So napapalambot. And siya yung pinakamatagal gawin.
Yung seasoning, paano siya?
Yung seasoning, minarinate siya. Of all the 3, ito lang yung minarinate for 30 minutes to 1 hour. Kay Chef RV naman, binoil with a lot of garlic and matagal. And then, dinry siya sa oven at saka siya pinrito. The purpose of drying it is to guarantee na mag-crisp talaga yung skin niya. So, tingin niyo ba nag-pay off yung pag-oven?
Hindi masyado.
Hindi masyado. Parang ito pa yung better. What we can learn from this video is that same ingredients but different cooking techniques will yield very different results. So, baboy lang lahat na ito na may salt, pepper, bay leaves, minsan may suka. Pero iba-iba yung nagustuhan nila at iba-iba talaga yung naging quality of crunch, juiciness, and kung gaano katagal nagtatagal yung crunch. So kung gusto niyo ng straightforward way of cooking na very easy, you will get this na not bad, but if you add more steps to it, if you add more effort to it, such as putting it in an oven, you will get extra crunch. Adding more ingredients like garlic will add extra flavor. And then, katulad naman nito, if you know how to handle your ingredients, katulad nito na hindi natin alam na pwede naman palang magpakulo sa malamig na mantika and unti-unting taasan yung apoy, di ba? I mean, sa akin, hindi siya very common practice kasi I always like to fry in hot oil way usual. Pero, ganun pala yung results. Maganda naman pala. So, it's also a learning experience for me today. I hope it was also to you. Ayan, and if you want us to try more recipes in the future, comment down below ano yung mga recipes na yon. And if you like this video, follow Harold. Ayan. See you guys in the next video.